Vroom, vroom. Wah-pa-pa-pa-pa, zaddy.
I want to tell you guys a story. I graduated secondary school in 2008 from the prestigious and the most annoying secondary school in Kaduna State. I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to give that woman any clout. I graduated in 2008, and just like every other young Nigerian, we all wrote JAM, hoping to get into university as soon as possible so we can graduate as soon as possible. Because in Nigeria, or when you're young, you think it's the way you plan life that life will turn out. You know how we'll think, okay, we'll graduate secondary school at 17, we'll finish university at 22, get married at 24, start having kids by 27. That was the hope. That was my plan anyway. And Nigeria will disgrace you. Nigeria will tell you you can't have those kind of dreams in this country. Okay, let me continue my story. So I wrote JAM the first time. I passed. I got my cutoff mark because I really wanted to study medicine. That was what I wanted to do. But when I went to go and write post-UME, which was post JAM in Bayero University, PUK Kano, my mom, the reason why I didn't even want to go there. My mom said I should put it because there's somebody that she knows that will help us out, that will help me with the admission. The person is supposedly a long-time friend. When I got there to write the post-UME, the person told me, he can't help me because I'm not an indigene of Kano State. So that's how my dream to study medicine was crushed. And they wanted to give me biology. I was like, nope, I can't do that. I waited an entire year to write the next JAM, and by then the amount of weight I gained was crazy. You don't understand how much weight you're going to gain till you sit at home for an entire year after secondary school. You don't understand how small you were in secondary school till you stay at home 1 year studying. It's 1 year doing nothing, waiting for the next JAM. So the next JAM came around. Unfortunately, I didn't make my cutoff mark. Again, this was when there was no calculators, so it's not like now that everybody's scoring 270. It didn't happen like that in my time. What happened was, since I didn't make my cutoff mark for the second time, I was able to get admission to do remedial classes in University of Jos. 2 months into getting my admission, ASUU went on strike. Just 2 months. I was just in uni just for about 2 months. ASUU went on strike. And that strike lasted another 10 months. The weight I lost, I was happy that I lost in school for that 2 months, I gained it back ×3 in that 10 months I was at home. Do you understand? So, and then they later called, because we were thinking, they told us it's going to be 2 weeks, they told us the strike will only be a month, and then it ended up being 10 months again, the strike. And then later they called us back. All of us were all happy to go back to school now. And out of nowhere, ASUU went on strike again for another. After we stayed in school for about 3 months, this time 4 months, ASUU went on strike again. And I think this time around it lasted for about 4 months. And do you understand how? I don't know about anybody else, but for me, I couldn't make up my cutoff mark to get into medicine again because the inconsistency of everything. Do you understand? Like sending a child to school, sending the child back home for 10 months, bringing the child back, and then immediately you guys are writing exams because you need to catch up with the curriculum. How will somebody study? How are you supposed to meet up your mark and your course mark? If I was in, I honestly believe, like, if there was an uninterrupted stretch, I would have made my mark, I would have made my papers. But that's just one of the things that ASUU can really drag you and frustrate you to the point where you don't even want to study anymore. Because all of you now that have gone back to school recently, because ASUU's called off an 8-month strike recently, all of you that have gone back to school, tell me how you're adjusting. Do you really remember everything that you left back? And I promise you, as you are going back to school, almost all of you are running straight back into exams. There's no prep time. There's no, okay, this is where we left off. No, it's back into it. And a child can't learn like that. Anyway, after I couldn't make my medicine cutoff mark, I now got maths and statistics, which I started studying. By my second semester, an opportunity came for me to go abroad. to go and study information technology in the school that I went to, LPU, in the Philippines. Just to show you how messed up a Nigerian education system is. When I got to uni in school, when I got to the Philippines, I was so lost, and I mean that in the most. I think I'm downplaying how lost I was. I didn't when we were in secondary school. They always tell us, we had computer classes. Everybody had computer science classes, but then I don't know about any other school, but in my school there was only like 2 computers. So the teacher will sit in one, and then one student to sit in the other one, and all of us would crowd around them to see what they're doing. And the most they ever taught us is how to type word stuff on MS Word. I did not know how to use PowerPoint till I got to the university. I did not know how to use Excel till I got to the university. And by then, I was already far behind than everybody else. Can you imagine trying to study information technology and you don't know anything about your computer? You don't know anything, literally. I was so shocked when I realized, or I discovered, that I could use Google and YouTube to solve problems, like there's basically answers to every question online. It's so sad, but that was my reality. Do you understand? So the whole, even when I was in UJ, those 2 semesters I did, we had computer science classes too, and it was the same thing. Students crowding around one system, one computer, and by the time you have that class for 2-3 hours, who has the energy to stand peeping over somebody's shoulder just to look at the computer screen? Everybody will lose all kinds of interest. But okay, now when my experience in my new school, we had computer classes, but we have these computer labs, and in our computer labs we had over 100 computers, and we only, in each class you can't have more than 25 students in class. So there was a surplus of computers. Do you understand? Even if you don't want to use the school appointed computers, you can use your own laptop. So it was such a step up in education for me by all standards. The classes were conducive, the environment was conducive, everything made sense to me, and I was fortunate to also play basketball. That was my scholarship avenue, to play basketball, and I was able to save my parents even more money. And anytime people hear of studying abroad, they hear, you guys broke the bank. In my school, we didn't. Our school fees was only 450k per semester. There are schools in Nigeria here, primary schools, that cost 3 times that. You understand what I'm saying? And we did not have to struggle with ASUU, impromptu strikes for no freaking reason because the government refused to pay salaries. We did not have to do any of that. After I graduated, because of all the stress and ASUU and the poor education I received here, I ended up spending close to 8 to 10 years in university, which made no sense, which was not good for my life plan. I graduated uni at 25, and by that time, when do you have time to like really adjust into a life? Or everybody expects you to hit the ground running. Well, anyway, when I finished, a friend of mine that also went to my school, he studied engineering, and another teacher, a Filipino professor, we sat down and we discussed that now we need to give people an avenue, a place that they can come and study, affordable, that will not break the bank, they will not lose out time on their life plan. Standard of education will be far better than what we have here. It's just what it is. What the 3 of us did was we created a company that have been helping students study in the Philippines. It's like I said, it's very affordable. You can study. It's affordable to study there. Your level of academics is, I promise you, what we are great at in Nigeria is theory, reading books, cramming. But there, everything that you're reading, you're getting a practical, real-world application of it. Practical, real-world. I'm telling you, like, if you're a nurse, you want to study medicine, whatever, as they're teaching you guys, like in my own school, we have an actual mock-up of a hospital in the school, where students they'll go there and study, and everything around you looks and feels like a real-life hospital. So you understand where to move, what each thing is. Same thing with us that are into computers. Everything, we had our hardware constantly around us. We knew what we were talking about when we were reading it in books. The ones that were doing hospitality management, we had a real life hotel set up inside the school, so they knew how to be in the hotel service industry if that is what they wanted. They had 5-star kitchens for those people that needed to learn how to cook. Everything was in that school, everything, and I mean that. See, if imagine I went to the Philippines when immediately I left secondary school from 2008, 2000, maybe 12, when I would have graduated, or 2013. I feel like because I had enough time, I would have actually gone back to pick up another course, just because of how incredibly interesting it was to study abroad. We came up with this company to help Nigerians that want to study abroad, and that's what I've been doing for the past few years. COVID hit, and the thing really put a damp in our business for the past 2 years, but now we are back. Borders are open, and we are back with more, even better opportunities for Nigerians. Right now, if you want to study any pre-med course at all, whether it's nursing, biochem, biology, pharmacy, psychology, radiology, whatever it is, right now you can graduate in 2.5 years with a school fees total sum of 2.5 million. That is incredibly cheap. If I had that and I really wanted to do medicine, if I would really wanted to continue with medicine when this opportunity came about, I would have been a doctor by now. It's really that easy. I would have been a doctor by now. If you want to study medicine, if you want to be a doctor, if you do the pre-med course for 2.5 years, you can actually graduate from medical school in 5.5 to 6 years instead of the 7-8 years that it takes us here. That's what we have on ground right now. You can get any pre-med degree course for 2.5 million, and you can graduate in 2.5 years with your degree, with your certificate. This is not a diploma, a certificate, a degree, a BSc. If you want to study anything else, school fees does not because of the current dollar to naira exchange. I think per semester you're looking at 500,000, and there's only 2 semesters in a year. So it's up to you. I really want you guys to take advantage of this opportunity. We are open for business now. Anybody that wants to talk more about it, please hit me up in my DMs. If the conversation goes any further, I'll give you my personal phone number. We can continue to talk. I really want you to take advantage of this opportunity. I want to help people like myself. If I had this opportunity when I was younger, I promise you, I feel like my life would be so much more advanced now. I would not have lost time on so many things, because that's what Nigeria will do to you. That's what ASUU will do to you. That's what our educational system will do to you. It will destroy time that you should have had. Please, I want you guys to take advantage of this opportunity. Study in the Philippines. Let me help you out. Whatever degree you want to get, I'll help you out. I'll connect you to my own alma mater, to my school. I'll connect you to our partner schools still in the Philippines, so you can get your pre-med course degrees. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope I didn't bore you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, peace.
yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.